What up, virtual people? Welcome to episode 49 of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2022. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, our own honorary third host from Rick Barth and the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
Ow!
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, coming to you courtesy of the Jacked Up Review Show, Cameron Sullivan is on the show.
Hey!
Thank you
How you
so
been?
much for coming on, my man. Great to be back with you.
Fun to
We
prep
are
for.
here. We are here today in our last episode on Facebook and Twitch, by the way, to resurrect the greatest superhero ever from 1994. That's right, folks. It's
Allegedly.
time for Blankman 2, Blank Knight Rises. But before we can start desperately slapping Susan, we need to talk about how Blankman came into our lives and what we love about it. That means it's also time for you guys watching at home to dish on how it came into your lives. We talking VHS, laser, theaters, cable? Hit us up in the live chat and let us know. So, Cameron, you remember the first time you watched Blankman?
You are gonna hate me so much. So I commonly mistook this for the similar but totally different Damon Wayans comedy, The Sixth Man.
Oh, the Sixth Man.
Wow.
I don't think I've even seen that one.
It was
I mean, I
just
can
on
like picture
all the movie
cover.
channels, Stars and Black and Showtime all the time, and it just was one of those. It just was on rotation, and I definitely saw it. It's a blur.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a basketball one, right?
Yeah, but I think there was
Yeah,
some
yeah.
supernatural elements to it.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds like something I would have watched, and I'm surprised I haven't. Mickey, do you remember the first time you watched Blankman?
I saw this in theaters.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm like, again,
How?
we'll
How?
talk.
5 people saw this in the movie theaters. You were not one of the 5 that saw this damn
Dude,
movie.
I was so hyped.
Maybe it was a pre-screener crew.
I must be.
I'm a huge Damon Wayne fan. Number one.
Who isn't? But still, 5 people saw this in the theaters.
There was, like I said, I'm a huge fan of his. I was excited about that. And the most important part, or one of the most important parts for me, was the New Power Generation soundtrack song, which was Superhero. So
Oh my
I couldn't
God.
hear it.
Oh
Like,
my
and
God.
I'm such a Prince fan that like I had
So
to
you
see
saw
it.
it, but you didn't, kind of.
I had to hear the song. So I'm like, but no,
This is
I
why-
love the movie.
Impressive.
Don't get me wrong. I love the movie.
This is why I love you. I'm looking at you right now, Mickey, with like that twinkle in my eye that Richard Jenkins has in Step Brothers. He's looking at Mary Steenburgen's other son. That is amazing. I was one of the other 5
What's that
people who
even
saw this
mean?
in theaters. I don't know what that
It means what
but
it
it's
means.
just- it means what it
Oh my
means, yeah.
God.
Holy Richard Jenkins. Ian, do you remember the first time you saw Blankman?
No. Nobody remembers the first time that they saw Blankman. Everybody forgets when they saw Blankman.
Oh, that is
no.
a crime against cinema.
No,
right
I
there.
actually do remember. This was one of those early in the morning HBO movies. This was a safe one to play during the day.
Right.
So I remember during summer vacation watching this one day on like a Tuesday, eating ramen noodles. Why? I don't ask me. I just remember.
So
Post-college
let me get
life,
this
baby.
straight. You don't remember seeing the movie, but you remember specifically what you were eating that
Yes.
day.
Mickey, that's how unimportant Blankman is in this universe, is that I remember eating the food that went in my belly that came out of my body long before I remember this movie entering my eyes and staying in my head.
So
This
you're
is a
telling me that
crime.
you didn't have Taco Tuesday, you had Ramen Tuesday.
That's right. That's
All right,
right.
this is all just a crime against Blankman going on. You're all held in contempt of Blankman.
At least he didn't. At least
Mickey's
he
just
didn't
like,
mix
well, I
it-
just wanted to hear the soundtrack.
I
and,
wish I could plead the 5th on Blankman. That would be something.
At least
Well-
you didn't mix it up with the Meteor Man.
Nah, see,
Hey,
I'll
that's
take
another
Meteor.
classic.
I'll take Meteor
and
Man.
we will, I promise you guys, we will do Meteor Man at some point on this show. Because good God, would I love to do Meteor Man too.
Although,
that's
On a serious note, I will say though, this movie is pretty funny. I know we'll talk a little bit more about it. And
At
as
least it's not Spawn.
I remember as a kid not liking it, but as I have gotten older and I've rewatched it, I actually like what Blankman is doing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But as a kid, I didn't get it because I was thinking this is Major Pain 2. Right?
This was before Major Pain.
This is way before Major Pain.
But that's it. I didn't see this before Major Pain.
Yeah. You came into this like a man out of time, and like I don't know what you know.
No,
you came from like a different fucking timeline, and you wandered into Blank
I remember
World,
thinking like, oh, but again, what I mean is, I think I'm gonna see, a movie like that where I like, I love Major Pain, but then it's this weird wimpy guy. It was just weird. I just didn't like it as a kid. Right.
Because you probably didn't get the jokes.
That's what I'm saying. Now I get it because now, as whatever age I am, I've seen Batman, the series from the 60s. Like I didn't then, but now I watch it and I get the jokes that Blankman's doing.
Oh, if you didn't see the Batman series going into Blankman, that would really be debilitating.
I didn't see that till years
Even
later.
then, there were plenty of cartoons making fun of
True, but.
But I get it.
I
remember crazy details about seeing Blankman. I'm going to get into that in just a sec. But I also want to note and shout out to our buddy Adon from Staunch TV, who would be fucking rolling over, vomiting, watching us all disrespect this film like this. This is a triumphant film. This is
I'm not
a landmark of cinema. Mickey isn't disrespecting it. No, he was there in theaters, and so was I.
I'm not either. I'm just saying.
Just take the hit. It's comedy, folks.
Anyway, so I do want to touch on the chat. Our buddy Jay Ledford is in there. The first comment of the chat today: 6 shirt Chris Rocket. I don't know if that's really just a Chris Rock reference tucked in based on everything that's going on right now. But either way, I like when people call out the shirts. I had to wear red today for Blankman. Yes, the most stage slap ever. Also in the chat, our good buddy Alex Bonafonte. The most memorable line is in the trailer. Will slap me around and call me Susan. Alex Bonafonte also shouting out Staunch TV. Staunch TV's having some streaming problems, but as always, we want Adon and Staunch back on anytime. Also, some people where Blankman came from. A lot of cable in here. Mike Saunders and Angie Saunders in there. The mashup geniuses. Mike says cable. Pretty sure it was on my friend's pirated satellite dish. Now that is not a crime.
That's very particular.
Pirated satellite dish.
That's a testament to the 90s, my friend. And
Angie Saunders.
Yeah. And Angie Saunders, like many of the people in this chat on this show today, doesn't remember the first time she saw Blankman. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is what's in your heart today. Now, I'm going to take you back to what was in my heart in 1994 when I saw this film in theaters with my friend David Lund and his dad, Alan Lund, who took me to Lake Zurich Theaters in Lake Zurich, Illinois. We were in theater number 6. It was to the right and on the left. And I remember getting lots of butter on my popcorn, a cherry Coke with no ice, and just having the fucking time of my life. I was a diehard In Living Color fan. That was one of those shows. That and The Simpsons are why I learned how to record on the VCR, so I could record like those Fox shows on Sunday night. And that my life has never been the same. So I will start by saying that I think I was too young to have counted the people in the theater, whereas like, is this packed? Is this not? And also, I think I probably saw it on the opening Friday night. So that's always the most packed night of a movie, even if a movie is dog shit, like, people will go see it Friday and then it'll drop off Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
Yeah, I definitely saw it on a Friday as well.
How much did this make?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the
7 million.
Well, out of the 2 tickets,
it made 7 million.
Out of the 2 tickets,
30 million budget. Jesus.
Yeah, I think I read 7 million.
Well, something. Scarface was a bomb at the box office. Doesn't change the fact that it's a cinematic masterpiece, much like Blankman.
Yeah, okay, Chris, but there's no Blankman posters hanging out in wrappers. Pimp my episodes there's no.
That's only because people haven't seen my Blankman v Superman mashup. That's why. I'm telling you, I get that thing out there in circulation and boom, it's on everyone's wall. Are you kidding me? be on the walls of teen. It'll be like in Teen Beat magazine.
Audacity of you comparing Blankman to Scarface. The audacity, sir.
I'll tell you what, much like Tony Montana, Blankman has his word and his balls, and he doesn't break them for nobody. All right, for nobody. His balls are fucking bulletproof. This is we're ahead of ourselves because this is already giving me ideas for the sequel. I do want Blankman going fucking nuts, Scarface style. Like, I take your fucking bullets. Like, come on.
Black Dynamite style.
Oh my god, it would be gold.
Dude, I know we're gonna.
Yeah.
No, I know we're gonna talk about it too, but like you'd say balls, and the only thing I can think of is like Blankman having like orgasms, like just from kisses, like
straight up again.
That's awesome.
Again, we are ahead of ourselves, but that is definitely why I wanted to call this episode Blank Knight Rises and not Blank Knight Returns. Because every time Kimberly Johns gives him a kiss, and it's what's happening, J5? That's incredible. Yeah,
love it.
Wow.
And I think honestly that went a little bit over my head the first time I watched. Like, it was funny to me, but like I didn't really get it until like I think I watched it on VHS with my brother, and he's like, "That's he like explained." I was like, "Oh, okay, like I sort of get this now." So that joke went a little bit over.
There's a lot of those in our movies growing up in the early 90s. Scene from Ghostbusters. You don't get it until your 20s. Freaking Forrest Gump. You don't get it until you're in your 20s.
I think we all got Forrest Gump growing up.
I didn't get it. I totally was like, I didn't get it. I was like, what happened? Like,
but what I really want to know, and I was kind of just trying to like research this because I even when I first saw Blankman, we're all familiar with In Living Color, and basically what he did was there was Handicap Man or Handyman. So like you couldn't make a Handyman.
Good gosh, you could not do that. Can you imagine? They can't even play that clip today.
But like the thing is that he's using the Handyman voice. Cable. He's essentially using the Handyman voice as Blankman. In a way.
I feel I know what you mean. Like, it is the elephant in the room. Like, Handyman and Blankman. And like at the time, I would have fucking rushed to the theaters for a Handyman movie.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it would have been edgy and like
Jim Carrey would have played Fire Marshal Bill.
You couldn't do a $30 million version of Handyman. You could do like a $2 million version of it, and that wouldn't have been that great. And I wish, honestly, Blankman, one of the few movies where I look back and I think, well, if anything, I wish they had more money. I wish they lost more money on this.
Speaking of which, it was shortly after that movie he did, Mo Money.
No, that was before. Mo Money was before
That's what I said. It was after.
Oh, it was after Mo Money. Okay. Yeah, then okay. He's laughing all the way to the blank. But like for a $30 million movie, it does feel like, if you would have told me it cost 45, I would have believed it. It feels really classy for, I guess 30 million was a lot back then.
There's some good production values.
There is like movie. The blank rail, like the scenes with the train and stuff like that. Yeah,
I feel like the actual like the props is what took the money. Like
this
the blank.
More of a superhero movie than The Shadow.
Oh, for sure. It's a better
you can't see fucking anything in The Shadow.
Oh, man.
And that has Russell Mocha. You have Highlander fam working on it.
And I always thought that would be Alec Baldwin's worst moment too. Boy, was
shots fired. No, too soon.
We're gonna get canceled fast. Fast and hard. No, but something, Handyman. Again, the Handyman Blankman thing. I would have loved to have seen Handyman the movie, and I don't think it was made. I guess maybe it was a little bit mean, but I don't think it was like mean-spirited, if you will. I don't think it was exploitative.
I never got that just from any of their skits. Never to the point is like, it's basically if you and your cousins were just bullshitting just for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And, that's what's captured on film. And like you say, everyone just always just wants to make everything bigger than how it is. It's just like in all the various documentaries when they're talking about the evolution of rap music, there will always be one of them saying, I had to overcome this and then that because everyone thought I was talking about this when I didn't even say that in the lyrics anywhere. So throughout history, everyone will always illustrate more than just the vibe they're getting, even though it's not even remotely connected to the existing product. So
I get
Right
that.
on, right on.
People
Yeah.
exaggerate how much they like this movie. Even.
Oh, okay. Shots fired again. All right, let me flash forward a little bit.
My favorite thing about Blankman is where I can find Blankman. It's not streaming in this world. I can find Blankman at Dollar General in the DVD section in a 4-pack of the Wayans brothers with Mo Money, Blankman, White Chicks, and Little Man.
Little Man.
Wow.
First of all, I'd buy that.
If
for
that
$1.
doesn't say
Second
anything
of all,
about this movie,
that is keeping
nothing
Dollar
else will,
General-
sir.
That is the backbone of Dollar General right there, which is the backbone of our entire cinematic economy.
You can rent it
so-
online. It's streaming.
So $3
First
on
of all,
Amazon,
Mickey,
or a DVD
shush.
4-pack.
Secondly,
All right, let's talk about the ingredients that go into a great movie, right? First of all, as always,
not
you want to know
Man.
you want to know who's in it, right? The cast. Boom. David Allen Greer, Damon Wayans.
Okay,
Lynn
That's
Thigpen.
part of this
Who
movie.
steals it?
Best
Yeah.
part of this movie, and I agree. This man should have. I want to correct a wrong here on this show. David Allen Greer was robbed in life. That man should be bigger than Jamie
Yes.
Foxx. Should be bigger than Keenan Ivory Wayne. Should be
1000%.
bigger than like everybody on that cast. David Allen Greer is the shit.
And
Oh, yeah.
I think this movie particularly utilizes him better than any other movie that I've seen him in. I think he gets to
Yeah.
play an actual human being and not just like a one-dimensional character, as he always he kind of always plays the like nerdy guy or the I try really hard just to get, disappointed guy. That's the joke, like McHale's Navy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Or
I don't
the
like
or,
him.
or the wasp guy. Like he always is that, he's the one, he's the Bill Cosby-esque guy that they always put in a movie,
I guess
Yeah, well,
out
I
of
think
the
of, like,
out of the
Boomerang
cast.
too,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sorry, Mickey.
Boomerang. Yeah, but like out of the
Tales
cast
from
of
the
in,
Hood. that
in
wasn't
Living
even
Color,
comical.
he was basically the uh, for lack of a better term, he was the Bill Cosby of the group.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we
He was-
definitely need a better term for that. We should
Yeah,
not
exactly.
be calling anybody the Bill Cosby of anything. In a flattering and
Is there anybody else we want to add?
No.
Anybody else we want to add to this episode? Lorena Bobbitt, Tanya Harding, anything
Jesus.
else? Like
Hey, I'm Joey Buttafuoco.
Hey, Joey Buttafuoco over here. Joey Buttafuoco over here.
Joey Buttafuoco.
Come
love
on,
Oh,
Joey
my
Buttafuoco.
Yeah,
And
this
all
is-
fairness,
yeah,
God,
we're
there's so
getting
many
controversial.
serious roles.
Yeah, we're
It's
getting
like he
controversial
needs
for
more
Black
comedy
Man.
roles.
But okay, so David Allen Greer is fantastic in this. The villain, Michael Minnelli. The actor's name I think is John Polito.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Lynn Thigpen is their grandma. Perfection. Robin Givens. Who the hell doesn't love Robin Givens? She's a better Lois
Ooh.
Lane than
They
any of the
always-
Lois Lanes have been.
They always are
Apparently.
trying to get Robin Givens to, they're always trying to give Robin Givens a chance, and she can never do it.
A chance to what? She did
Just
always
just
did
to
it.
rise above the Mike Tyson image, like all the
Well,
movies never hit.
first
know?
of all,
That's
I mean,
that's
they-
neither here nor there. I don't think that has anything to do with her work. I think she's.
No.
I think she's.
I think
great.
she's a great actress.
Iconic.
but she can never break out of that image. She's always kind of like,
I think
Robin
she's really
Williams
got her
could.
His
image.
girlfriend,
She just
you know?
picked a lot of TV work more than theatrical.
To be fair, I don't think Mike Tyson ever really broke out of it either, and he bit someone's ear off and tattooed his face, and he still can't
wasn't
break
gonna.
out of it. And I mean that is no disrespect.
there's our-
you know.
there's our Evander and Mike controversy. All right, I'm just counting our controversies. We're
Yeah,
putting
right.
up.
We are really getting intensely controversial here.
No,
but
like I think Robin Givens basically we all knew that she started off head of the class, and then through that she became a star, and then started to get these movie roles. I mean, the best movie that I could think of that she was in was probably Boomerang.
Probably,
I mean,
that
yeah,
was
that's
probably her
probably
best.
fair, you
That
know.
was probably her best role.
she's been in a lot of movies, though. I know we're undercutting something somewhere because she's been working actually a lot steadier than you would imagine for a long time, and
Yeah.
doing good work too, like doing really good stuff.
Yes, spots.
But I mean, I love Boomerang. That's I can't really compare it against Blankman.
It's
But
two
for
different
me,
animals.
there's
yeah.
just such different films. But for me, I feel like Boomerang was that one that I didn't appreciate as a kid, but then as an adult, I absolutely loved. Whereas Blankman, I loved as a kid, and like every time I go back to it and rewatch it, like in my 20s and my 30s, I just love it more. I don't know. I gotta throw a shout out to the composer of the film, whose name escapes me at the moment, but the score of Blankman is fantastic. Like it very much gives me Danny Elfman, Batman Returns vibes. Like if you literally just listen to the score,
but yeah, you're kind of right.
the score really anchors the movie for me.
Miles
and like
Goodman, and he passed away in '96. So 2 years after this fucking movie came out, he passes away.
Wow.
This guy was fucking slaying it till the end. But it's a really fantastic score, and I think that also makes part of what makes the movie feel like more than a $30 million flop of a movie.
He's done a lot of other flops. Sister Act 2, Getting Even with Dad, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh man,
Muppet Christmas Carol was
Muppet
not a flop, sir.
No.
Yeah,
You're right.
Reacts like,
It's just
Sister
one of
Act-
the lesser Muppet movies.
Sister Act 2 and Muppets Christmas Carol should never be uttered in the same sentence.
You're right. It should be for
yeah.
better or worse, or Dunstan checks in.
Yes, Dunstan checks in. The best Pee Wee Herman movie ever.
Oh, it's Back to the Beach. You know it is.
Son of a.
He's got some good ones out there, though. What about
Nobody
Bob?
remembers Back to the Beach.
Fucking Frankie and Annette remember
I'll
Back to the
pretend
Beach.
that I do. Just to say you're wrong.
Yes, nobody remembers Back to the Beach.
That movie, he was put on the cover as a cell, and it worked.
Was he in it for like half a second?
He's in it for like if you blink and you'll miss it. Like don't piss.
Cameo.
Don't sip your soda. At that moment. Yeah, it's the shortest cameo ever, but it is great because he comes in like a fucking bat out of hell, and like I think he flies away on like a jetpack or something in like 2 seconds.
Oh, and let's not forget, like in Blankman too, is when Blankman goes to the police station, and he's trying to get help to stop a crime or some shit like that, and they're just laughing at him, and they call it like the one dude calls him shithead man.
That's Bob Schimmel. That's comedian Robin
I
Schimmel.
want to see I want
to
to see the commissioner.
Yeah, but the
commissioner, shithead man's here to see you. He's busy. Yeah. Oh, it's great.
But the first officer that he talks to, that just like keeps like he's been in other things too, and I can't for the life of me think about what he's been in as well. But just his laugh too is just like he's just like ha, 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 and he calls over the other guy. He's like, hi, come over here. He wants to see the commissioner.
Oh man,
I will say I think my favorite part though always will be the elevator burst scene. Just because anytime you get Damon Wayans that high pitched scream that he does is totally worth it.
Yes.
What did it for me as a kid was when he would kind of like sing his own theme music, going like, I'm almost there now.
I'm almost there now.
Almost there. Just hang on. Just hang on.
During the fight scene, he's like humming like his theme, like a theme song as he's fighting. He's getting his ass kicked at the time, but he's still like fighting, singing. This reminds me of this reminds me of the Dave Chappelle like line, like when Dave Chappelle is talks about like how like when you get pulled over, like his friend Chad like kept on the twist his sister and stuff like that on the thing. He's like, Chad didn't turn it down. It's like, nobody want to get their ass beat while while listening to music. What that?
Oh God, it's dark.
So I think about like Damon Wayans, like Blankman is literally like getting his ass kicked, but he's still singing his theme song. Whatever, like that.
All right, so it is time for us to dish on favorite lines or favorite scenes, and that's also again everyone in the live chat. Let us know your favorite line or scene from Blankman. To me, I think one of them has got to be when they're in the lotto thing, filling up with water, and he's just giving the Batman narrator like will the dynamic duo defy their death-defying death trap? And fucking David Allen Greer just gets pissed. He's like, who will dislodge other guys' fists from Blankman's eyes? So good.
I love
the piss holes when they come out. The whole like Manelli, that fiend, the woman's bathroom, the one place he knew we couldn't go.
Yeah. I love like when David Allen Greer, like when Blankman's talking about how he's gonna have babies with like Robin Givens' character. He's like, oh, yeah, babies and whatever. Then he's like, you got to knock boots first, man. You got to knock boots.
Oh
knock the
God,
boots.
it's so good.
Dude,
There's a lot of things.
I wasn't talking to my jammy.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. There's a lot of things like, the grandma being like, you could have fed that half. Like, it's a good thing you so quick. Otherwise, I would have never gotten any sleep.
Yeah.
But I didn't appreciate that when I was 10. And then I sort of like, oh, that is a really good line.
I love like you talk about the baby delivery in the elevator, and she grabs like his junk. She's like, oh, you got a big finger. He's like, thank you.
Oh man, so good. Did you guys have a favorite line or scene, or did we already gloss over it?
I think you summed up the best of the lot. I just remember a lot of the physical gags.
The one thing I'm trying to what VHS was this trailer on?
Ooh.
Oh,
Does anybody know?
You bring up an interesting
This is
point,
by
actually.
Sony, Columbia TriStar. So maybe
So
on one of their other comedy movies.
Well, the interesting thing to me is not necessarily what movie had a Blankman trailer at the beginning, but what trailers Blankman had at the beginning of it. Because as you know, when a movie loses money, they put a lot of trailers.
Oh
in
yeah,
front of
well
the
that's
tape.
true. Yeah.
And Blankman had a lot, and there were a lot of classics like Only You with Robert Downey Jr. and I think there was a Wolf trailer, and I think there was also a trailer for Columbia's like remastering process, which like shows how much better their VHSs look. That it was like one of those like half the screen is all dark and like you can't see the other.
They had the worst pan and scan of any company, and all I have to do is point out to Multiplicity. If you've ever seen their pan and scan, is the worst in history.
And certain directors started shooting open matte for that particular reason and recomping stuff for full frame. Like Men in Black is very famous for that. There's a really wide shot. That's
not to be a movie nerd about it all, but I kind of am. So
no,
we forgot also like the fact that Jason Alexander was in this movie.
Right, that is what I was about to say.
Yeah,
and he fucking acts his ass off. I think it's maybe some of his best work too. He's the guy from Hard Edition with the shaved head and the wheelchair. Like, remember, it's not Hard Edition, it's Hard Edge Edition.
When Manelli actually pours the coffee on his like lap, like thinking that he's burning him. He's like, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in a wheelchair. I can't feel anything.
This ain't exactly a boil on my ass here.
Oh, I forgot. God damn.
But and then he goes to the dartboard, and this is the best, just throwing darts like the vice president and an alien and S&M sex. Now that's a story.
I remember that part.
Amazing. And then the whole like David Allen Greer fucking with him, like, is it okay if we make him think we're gonna die? Like,
yeah.
Play whatever games you want, my friend. I'm only concerned about Miss Kimberly Johns. We gonna die. Like
they could have done a sketch off that. I would have watched it.
My whole thing, like the silliness of this movie is like so awesome. But also you gotta think about this. It's like, so David Allen Greer was working with this guy like forever. And like, so he's in the costume. But you could clearly see like David Allen Greer's like goatee and whatever like that. And he's like, and he doesn't say like, hey, aren't you the guy that works in the camera guy works for me? He doesn't even think that the other guy is
it's not that deep a movie. It's fine.
And then by that, even like that admission, like if you know the other guy, then you know who Blankman is.
Oh, okay. So I do want to touch on the chat again. I may have missed a few things in there, but reference to Dollar General in there from Alex Bonafonte saying that's where he buys foot spray. Also offering anyone.
That's a good brand of foot spray. I encourage this. Good for you.
Also some love
keeping yourselves healthy.
Also some Robin Givens love in the chat, and
no, there's not.
There is, I swear to you.
No, there's
Look at the
not.
chat.
None of
Alex
you
Bonafonte.
know. None of you like Robin Gibbons. You never did. You never have. Don't it?
I think you don't like her, and you're throwing your hate. You're projecting your hate onto everyone else.
I'm not. I'm just saying. All right.
Yeah, I'm
You think you half your audience is posers?
Also, some Back to the Beach love in the chat, and Alex Bonafonte asked, does Damon Wayans shrieking like a woman count as his favorite line? Of course it counts.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, like to me, honestly, one of the ones is when, you know, David Alan Grier comes home and he's like, you know, what does all this shit? And he's like, people sent Blankman their stuff. One guy even sent $5,000. Great, where's it at? Like, I gave it back. I told him to send me your old appliances instead. He just starts throwing shit around. He gives him the radio. What'd I just throw there? Your radio. Then he runs into the bathroom, and like when David Alan Grier gets through the door, like the kind of scream that he gives, like, ah! It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my God.
He knows how to do the shrills.
Or like another great scene and another funny moment is when Damon Wayans is finally like starting to like wanting to become Blankman or whatever like that. Like he's like, oh, somebody's got to do something, whatever like that. He's like, they're selling crack in that house across the street. He's like, yeah, and so what, or whatever like that. And he's like,
you don't need a permit to open up a crack house. You close this one down, another one opens up right next door.
He's like, they shouldn't be doing that. And he walks in there. He's like, what are you doing?
I love the old lady on the train too, when he like helps her from the purse snatcher, and then he just gets, you know, the guy, he just gets outside the train doors. She's like, thank you, young man. The rest of you ain't shit.
Yeah, and then
I forgot about that.
Then the flip moment of that, when Blankman doesn't want to be Blankman anymore, and he's sitting on the bus, and the lady's purse gets stolen, and say, you ain't shit, you nerd.
I love the McDonald's scenes, and I don't know how they got McDonald's to go along with that.
Would you like a fries with that? Would you?
Perhaps you'd like to try our McSalads. A lot of people don't expect that from McDonald's, but we do. Chunky chicken salads.
Give him a burger.
He's just a little McMad right now.
Wow.
It's like bye love in this movie. You know, McDonald's really went for it.
Yeah, they were aggressive in '94 for
I thought about that for a second. I guess he must have gotten fired from his repair job because he wouldn't turn the lady's toaster back into a toaster.
Daryl, just turn it into a toaster again. It's better than a toaster, Mr. Crud. It's a toaster plus.
How many damn times have you watched this movie, Chris?
It's a fucking brilliant movie. First of all, you got to give the script is written by co-written by Damon Wayans. So the dialogue.
I just want to know, you do have a GeoCities official site for this, right?
I don't even know what that is. What's a GeoCities site?
That was like the old school internet.
Where that was the beginning stages of the internet. People would
like the Space Jam website, you know.
There you go.
I should have.
You are the Blankman encyclopedia. You should do the Blankman Wicca.
That was in the days of dial-up.
I should have. Like, would have been Blankmania, sweeping the nation. If I
added to the In Living Color Wicca. I don't know. Added to cult superhero movies.
I loved In Living Color though. In Living Color is what, you know, it's the gateway drug that led to this for me, and I think for Damon Wayans. And we'll get into the sequels in a sec here, but
all of them.
Well, yeah, obviously for David on yeah. But
I mean, well, we talked about this during Ace Ventura. I mean, if you didn't have In Living Color, nobody would have gone to see Ace Ventura. I mean, you went because it was the guy from In Living Color. It was
it's the introduction.
Yeah,
I mean, like
well, it was Vera DeMilo. It was Fire Marshal Bill. It was
that's the movie I want. I want him to do Vera DeMilo today.
That would fucking.
I think he should just start with Fire Marshal Bill, then work his way up to the Vera. But either way, yes, they can totally be crowdfunded.
Vera's probably my least favorite Jim Carrey, role.
This is why we're not friends. This is one of the reasons we're not friends.
Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, the things you say.
I will admit, Vera DeMilo hasn't aged well, but again, it was never supposed to. Again, it was not like an anti-trans kind of role or anything like that. It was just. it was, you know, and again,
It's
this
just
is not
comedy.
very,
It's just
this is
comedy.
not very woke either, but it was, the idea was more making fun of female bodybuilders, which was a new
Yeah.
thing in the late
Which was a
80s
new
and
thing,
early
yeah.
90s.
Nothing on
Um,
that show you can do today.
No,
Really.
most of it you can't, but that's what made it great, is it
Not
was
even Mad
unfiltered.
TV
You
has
felt
stuff
even
Yeah.
at the time that like, holy shit,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is on TV, and like they're like, my parents don't even know that I'm watching, you know, like thank God they're not really paying attention to me watching this in the other room, you know.
But this, I mean, the brilliance of like Damon Wayans is a lot of these characters and a lot of everything, you know, that he did came out of In Living Color, but also his stand-up. He's a brilliant stand-up.
Yeah.
And like this is what, like, I mean, I can understand somebody not liking Blankman because they think it's like too stupid or whatever it case may be. But at the same time, I'm like, the point of it being so stupid and so in its core, it's just a ripoff of the 60s Batman, you know,
Yeah.
show.
It's an homage,
Just
yeah.
it's an homage to that. But like,
That's what I'm saying. I get it now. Now I think it's hilarious. Now I get, because of that, knowing the Batman series, I think Blankman actually really works. So yeah, I agree.
but I got it. I mean, like this, I got it like then too. I mean, I did see the 60s, you know, Batman show, you know,
Yeah.
but so I get it. But at the same token, it's like this movie is like, for me, like, you know, like take for example, like Pootie Tang. Like it's in that same vein.
Yeah.
Like these are movies that are just like,
kind of like
you know,
Strictly Business with Tommy Davidson.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
that
they're
same
so-
kind of thing. Just
they're
all their
so
unused material. They're just-
good. I mean, like literally, like you might think the jokes are like corny or whatever like that, but the writing on it is actually really good, and it's like literally like they're well written jokes. Like they're not just like, you know, dumb gags or whatever. Like
Well,
for me, you know, it's
okay.
just one of those movies like that.
Well, and I will also say it's interesting. Blankman was at a time when there was not, you know, an African American superhero in
Right.
almost anywhere. I mean, in the comics, like I think in comic books there was starting to be, you know, more representation, but they're really on screen or on TV, there really wasn't. And so I do give him credit for that. I mean, I give Damon Wayans a credit, and again, I think he did it the only way he could probably do it, which is through comedy.
No, that's a good point, because like
you know,
out of all the In Living Color guys, they do get some of their best lines and cinematic comedy moments in action movies. Like Keener and Ivory Wayans did that in his brief foray into that, and Damon has some great lines in Last Boy Scout and in this, and
Yeah. Gotta throw a shout out to Last Boy Scout. I'm glad you brought that up because it's one of my
Bulletproof.
favorites.
Yeah,
And
then
Bulletproof as well.
Tommy
I
Davidson's
absolutely
in-
love Bulletproof.
yeah, and Tommy
um,
Davidson's in Black Dynamite, and
Let
Jim Carrey
us-
was in Sonic. So.
let us never forget the Glimmer Man.
Also, speaking
I
of
was
Last
talking
Boy
Most
Scout,
Wanted in A Low Down Dirty Shame, but he does have some hysterical behind the scenes stories about the making of Glimmerman, so I guess that counts. So,
well, also speaking of Last Boy Scout, I feel like we should all bow our heads for a brief moment in honor of Bruce Willis, who announced today
retired
Yeah,
from making
wow.
stupid action
retiring
movies.
from acting, and it is heartbreaking. And maybe people will finally stop talking about the Oscar slap, because
Yes.
this is a true loss here, folks.
Yeah.
I saw Jim
know,
Carrey actually giving his 2 cents on it. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I like
it's-
what he said. I like what he said.
all I'm gonna say is they'll do anything short of making better films to or nominating more inclusive films to get you to talk about the Oscars after it's over. That's what I'll, you know.
Right?
And maybe what was it 2 years ago they announced the wrong movie? Shit, here we are talking about it.
We're
Controversy,
always
controversy.
announcing
Controversy
the worst
15.
possible
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
The
at any rate,
unintentional comedy.
have we
So
mentioned
I-
the Bill Clinton Monica Lewinsky scandal yet? He was president at the time of Blankman, you know.
Not
The
since
real-
the Menendez
Yes.
brothers. Not since the.
Holy OJ.
Oh, look, let's get Jerry
Good time.
Falwell.
Okay,
Let's
first
get
of all,
Jerry Falwell to do a prayer. You know?
Let's not forget too, like, you know, in Blankman, I mean, like basically, like, you know, a superhero is supposed to save, you know, a lot of people in this and that, whatever case may be, and you very rarely see people die. You know, like, you know, or like, I mean, even if it was off screen or whatever like that, you basically have like 2 deaths
Yeah.
in this movie that could not be, you know.
and you know, I'll just
you know,
say it
avoided.
right here, right now. I give way more of a shit about Blankman's grandma than I ever will about Bruce Wayne's parents. It's a fact. I don't ever
Yes.
need to see the Waynes get slaughtered again.
Oh.
But fucking Grandma fucking Walker, that tugs me at the heartstrings, man. Like that really does. And again, soundtrack and score help a lot. Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier, they crushed that. Like after the funeral moment, you know, those scenes, like that really makes the whole movie work. You take those out, and obviously the movie is just two-dimensional.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
you had
and
a
the
lot
mayor
of,
too. I love Assemblyman Harris, or Mayor Harris, if you will. Just you know, you get him for such a short amount of time, but you really are invested in him because he is so wholesome and he is so, you know, uncorruptible.
I
Well,
love
no,
you. I
I
love
mean, he
your
did
love
get
for this
corrupted.
movie that you actually had to correct his actual title in this imaginary government world. I love it.
And first of all, I grew up outside of Chicago, so I can't get that wrong. And this is a great Chicago movie. So I feel like I just wanted to throw that
the
out
Chicago way.
it was
there. That's
definitely
right.
Chicago.
It's Polish sausage and Blankman and the Bulls, and it's great.
It was definitely Chicago, right? Because for some
Yeah.
reason I
Untouchable
thought it
He
was
rides the L,
Detroit.
yeah. No, he
I
rides
thought
the L
it-
train.
Okay, I thought it was Detroit for some reason.
I kind of wish it was Detroit because that would make for an
It actually makes
incredible
more sense.
Detroit
That would be
cinematic
It's
even
'cause
more
David Allen-
chaotic.
It's because David Allen Greer is wearing the Michigan.
Yeah, and then
That's why,
I
yeah.
think there was somebody
Oh,
in the
that might
movie
be
that had
weird.
like a Detroit Tigers hat on too. I think,
Yeah.
or something.
No, J5 wears the Detroit Tigers
yeah,
hat.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
thought it was Detroit.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Chicago. In fact, I think you see Chicago police on some of the cars. But
yeah,
I
Where do they film
could
this?
be wrong about that. And that Blankman rides what I always assumed was the L train in
Filmed in
Chicago.
Chicago,
but,
Illinois, and at Sony
there we go.
Pictures Studio in California, Culver City. So
Yeah.
well, hey,
There you go.
everybody shoots in Toronto a little bit now and again. So no crime there.
Yeah,
But at any
obviously.
rate, we are way past the half-hour mark, so we should definitely get into sequel stuff now. And again, that also goes for you guys at home watching the chat. If you have an idea of things you would love to see Blankman do, or things you really don't want to see him do, give us your good and your bad pitches in the live chat. Have you guys had any? Do you have any like pre-existing thoughts going into this? Like, you know, Ian, not being so much of a young fan, you may probably have less ideas in the tank than the rest of us. But
I mean, and I did think of one. I know, again, I don't know how the ending of it goes in my head, but I did think the opening is, and again, bringing it into 2022, I think it would be very interesting if the world, it's kind of like, okay, Blankman is this legend now, right? Like imagine Candyman, you know, kind of scenario where everybody always talks about Blankman, you know, and there's, you know, Blankman writings on the wall. I'll be honest, I want them to take a serious approach to the funny movie, almost like The Hangover. I think it'd be interesting if you had this where Blankman is this legend and everybody always talks about it, but he is so, you know, scared. Something's happened to him where he's just in hiding.
yes,
Right.
Mhm.
I was totally thinking this. Yeah,
And he's just and he doesn't want to do anything, and he just lets the world, you know, like she died or something like that, or something. You know, you get the Batman thing where he's, you know, recluse and hiding.
yes.
And somewhere down the line, all of a sudden, he's got to, you know, and I imagine he's in this bank, right? And the bank's getting robbed, and he looks over, and there's like, I don't know why, but there's a sock, right, and a pair of scissors, and you know, it's like you get this very dramatic thing of you know, make the whole beginning of the movie serious, and then all of a
Is it
sudden,
like Rambo?
he ties it up, and then there's Blankman, the blank night rises in this moment.
Well, you could have, you know, I thought like, you know, like Minnelli 20 years later comes out, and obviously he's gonna want revenge on Blankman. So he does kill. You can have him kill Kimberly. You can have that, or you can have him, you know, I mean, it's got to be Kimberly or the other guy, you know, David Alan Greer.
I
you know-
thought about this. Yeah. I kind of agree with you on that. As much as I would love to see Robin Givens back, and she is like the Lois Lane of this, and so perfectly done. It just it does seem like such a crime to get rid of her, but from like a character standpoint, you have to put Blankman in that position where he's broken again, and he's just gonna go fight crime because he has nothing else to live for. So that would be a good way. And I think
building on your point. So I didn't realize this. I was looking at the trivia. Apparently, Damon Wayans, when he appears as himself in Last Action Hero, he's wearing a Blankman hat. Get all the comedians in a funny movie where they're playing just fictional versions of themselves, kind of like This Is the End. And then at some point, everyone's all playing various cult characters they played and insert the Blankman characters that way.
Oh, that would be a cool multiverse kind of spin. Yeah, like Fletch and Blankman and Austin Powers and like
unofficial
Ace Ventura, like all these weird characters together. Yeah, that would be awesome, especially if it was like, just make it as like a bad direct-to-video, like you ever saw Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue? You just get like everyone there telling you not to do drugs, and they're sort of like weaving this narrative, you know, where it's just like based around a kid who's throwing his life away on drugs, and then he meets all these people, and then he gets on the right path.
Look, but that worked. That worked because I rented that only because they had Ghostbusters and Slimer was in there.
Yeah, they had everything in that. Muppets, Ninja Turtles, fucking like everything. I'm telling you.
How awesome would it be, like, you know, if Manelli's new hitman, because his hitman is gone from the original movie, his new hitman is Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
of course, that would be amazing.
And you have Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans like going back and forth and stuff like that. Oh, come on,
that would be amazing. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Any worse than Kick-Ass 2.
Or Ace Ventura 2.
Oh,
how dare you? One. But secondly, that's the thing. Give me the In Living Color reunion cast movie.
Yes.
You know, like what's her name? Cartwright.
Who will Kim Wayans play?
Oh, Kim should be like the grandmother.
Okay, perfect.
You know, I still love, what was it? Don't Be a Menace to South, you know. Oh my baby! Oh my baby! This ain't your baby. Oh.
Speaking of which, they do a banged up job with all the newscasters in here, you know.
So I was thinking, Mickey, you know, also to build off what you were saying, if you get Blankman to this point, and I think it really does actually tie in with what Ian was saying as well, and Cameron too. So you do all these things, you put Blankman in a point where he kind of has nothing, but you want to give him some kind of an emotional anchor. And you know, you could have it be David Alan Grier still, but I think it might make sense if him and Kimberly had a kid, and it was a girl, and because this is Batman, you could have Blank Girl, you know, and you don't want to make it too much like Kick-Ass, but like, you know, again, like he hasn't been Blankman for a long time because he's been focused on being a dad. He's a single dad, so like, you know, Kevin helps a lot, David Alan Grier helps a lot, and they have that kind of family unit together thing, and you know, because he sees the world his daughter's living in, it just drives him to a point where he snaps and comes back as Blankman. But I also think Ian's right. When you play it with the seriousness of like, people talk about him like he's Batman in The Dark Knight Rises. Like people are drawing blank logos on like chalk on buildings, spray painting blanks, you know, like, you ever think he's coming back? Like, I don't know. You know, like, make it epic. Make it epic.
Had the you know, like you could still have like maybe like, you know, some like abandoned stores or whatever like that, still have this store protected by Blankman or whatever like that, the little posters.
You could have like League of Blankman imposters out there still trying to like keep the
well,
you had all these fake Blankmen.
You'd be making fun of the tropes in the various
Midget Man.
Imitators. And then have a bunch
Batman. You gotta make fun of Batman every way you can.
Have a bunch of cops who not only don't know how to fight a bunch of heavily armed mercs who, for whatever reason, put down their guns, but you could also just have them say, "Oh, not here. They'll catch us on camera or some shit."
I was just also gonna say, you know, what would be great is if one of the impersonators is Damon Wayans' son.
Yes,
he's a really good actor.
He
was in that Cop
The
Cop
other
Out.
guys.
Let's Be Cops. Yeah, he was.
But
he
the
was
other
right.
guys too. Remember, he's one of the rookie guys.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
following them
yeah.
around.
He'd be great. Have him come in as like a fake Blankman. You know?
That'd be
Yes,
interesting, yeah.
or a cop who wants to be at night.
Or-
He's like, I don't get any
this-
sleep.
They're
Or
doing
like
they're doing a movie about Blankman, and he's playing the actor playing Blankman, and so
or
it's
even like, what if he's like a Blankman that's like passing out like shit like on the pier somewhere? You know what I mean? He's like passing out
Yes.
flyers trying to get people to
He
come
has
into like a
his
pizza
own
place or
fan
something. You know?
group. He has a
Yeah.
Like, it's
website
really
that
sad. You
does
know?
sightings of him. You can make fun of the Spider-Man
I do
movie.
like Ian's idea though about like they're making a Blankman movie, like or documentary or some shit like that.
yeah.
And that
That's not
could
bad.
bring him back out of retirement too.
And
Some-
Eddie Murphy's the super.
you know, like a part of the documentary, be like, they're interviewing him and they're like, did you know that Minnelli just got out?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, the actor who played Michael Minnelli is no longer with us, and
Yeah.
I refuse to recast. It's perfection. So you could have his son.
Well, you could have
but I
Jim
really
Carrey.
like-
Jim
I really
Carrey.
like the idea of Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
You know, he probably
Keener.
couldn't play his. I mean, I guess he could play Minnelli's son, but
No, but he could be the-
Ivory's overdue
could-
for acting. He can come
he
back
could
in
be
as
the
an
ne-
exploitation character from Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah.
He's Blankman
Yeah. Well,
on a special assignment that no
I'll tell you
private
what,
eye
I
or
mean,
cop is cut out for.
I am such a fan. I
That'd be
want to bring
great.
everybody back. Like Greg Kinnear was the talk show host.
Yes,
You
the
know,
first movie ever.
I would want him still hosting a talk show in this movie
Gilbert
somehow.
Godfrey can still be
And
the
I want to
lead
bring
guy.
back Gay Man and Midget Man. Again, things that we
Yeah.
can't really do now. But like, why can't you build towards like a blank Justice League? You know, like that would be fucking
Ooh,
amazing.
Yes.
Right? That would be incredible.
Mm.
And I love the
That'd be
actor who
awesome.
plays Gay Man. And I forget his name, but he was also in House Guest with Sinbad. He's
Yeah.
like the snooty wine
Oh.
critic in that. But he just like has this, pathos the way he's like, well, I figured since I was cruising on the streets anyway, like.
And
he
I
just
am a
plays
gay
it so-
man.
he just plays it so well. I don't know. I would love to see. And again, that's what Blankman's Justice League would be like.
Right?
An all
Um,
inclusive,
Fuck yeah, and it would
It
just
actually
be,
would be. It actually could be a really good 2022 kind of movie. Like it
yeah.
actually
How do
would-
you bring
It actually would
yeah.
work in a weird way if you did it that way. It could actually be very
Remind us
interesting.
about all the good stuff we grew up watching.
Yeah, it
I
could be
mean,
Black
you know-
Knight Rises and a little bit of Dawn of Justice, a little bit of
Yeah.
like. Why the fuck not? Toxic Avenger got his Toxic Crusaders. Why
They
can't
did 4 of
Blankman?
them in a cartoon, for God's sakes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why can't
it's true.
Blankman get some fucking backup besides other guy? And obviously you got to have a new J5, and I think it should be like J9 or something like that. So you can imagine that there was a 6 and a 7 and an 8 that you like didn't get to see throughout these years, and maybe that you could have some.
What? This one's a
flashbacks that show them.
Maytag? Is that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. What would it be made? It would still be a washing machine, or would it be, like
It
a mini
has to be.
fridge?
Has
It'd be,
to.
a, it'd be a Samsung washing machine.
a
Yeah.
glow,
I got
a
it.
Stacker.
I got it. They bring back Key and Peele and they feature these guys in a giant all-stars comedy special.
That's great, but like my beef about Key and Peele. I like Key and Peele.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but I almost feel like Key and Peele basically took so much of past comedians and this and that and whatever, and that
I'm just trying to
the
think of how
originality.
realistically it can come together.
Yeah.
And I-
Who's the big
Uh,
comedy powerweight right now? I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're the stars or anything. They're
You
just
could get.
presented.
But yeah, no, I feel
And
you get as many cameos and stuff in there as you
Yeah.
can for sure.
I think Jordan Peele does like so much better. Like he's doing so much better as a director and movie maker now.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
get him to come out of that niche that he's in now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Although it
But-
would be really funny to see if they were doing the Blankman movie that Key and Peele were Blankman and another guy.
That'd
in
be
the
kind of
movie.
cool.
There
That
you
would be
go.
kind of funny. Just wait for them to play themselves,
Yeah, that'd be kind of
and they could play like arrogant
Jordan
star
Peele-
versions of themselves.
Jordan
They-
Peele could do a funny, serious blank man. You
They
know?
could even do like the alter egos like they did in the Obama sketch where they're
Yeah, he's got
there's the
you know,
blind version of Blankman.
Jordan Peele's got the shoe. It's justice time. Like
I think
that
it
would
would
be
also.
pretty funny.
I think it would also be funny if Blankman actually got a benefactor and like kind of like a
Yes.
like a fun like someone who could like kind of get him like an upgraded suit and things like that. An
Alfred type, yeah.
An Alfred
Or-
type, a Q type.
Here's
you
the
know?
thing. Here's the thing. He could get corrupted, like, but not know it. Like Jim Carrey could be Minnelli's son, but he's not like really well known, or like he's just kind of getting the role or whatever like that. And he's basically trying to get back at Blankman. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna try to like come on as a Bennett, like like I'll help you out, this and that, whatever the case may be. Like,
You give me an investment.
I'll fund you this and that. Like I did this, whatever like that. And he takes it because he thinks
takes
that
the bait.
Jim Carrey's on the up and up or whatever that. Maybe he saved him. Maybe Blankman saved him from something. So he just feels like he's just, repaying him. And he's giving him like appliances and stuff that he can make stuff, for it. So he's providing him material to make all these cool inventions and stuff like that to fight crime.
But he's really gonna double cross him and all his gadgets.
Yeah, and
turn
then
against him,
then
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Something comes out where like one of his inventions like kills somebody or does something or whatever like that, and they trace
You start
it back.
seeing blank gadgets at these murder scenes
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
that's
I
kind of
mean-
interesting. I like that.
Do it.
So
Yeah.
he stops being Blankman because he doesn't want any of his inventions sold anymore. This, that, whatever that. So he stops for a while, and then like
Make a
Jim-
Dark Horse comic tie-in.
then Jim
Okay.
Carrey just
Oh yeah.
finally like all right, what?
Dark Horse. There's a 90s right there.
Then he
Yeah.
kills
We're
Robin.
Going.
I think he-
them and Boom and all those guys. Oh, Amazon Prime. Blankman the series. Make it happen.
There you go.
Oh, I'd be so down. I'd be so down. Yeah. And so the question is, at the end of the day, if you go with someone like Jim Carrey, right? What kind of character do you have him play? Because I mean, this is the guy who could do anything. He's criminally
Yep.
underrated as a versatile actor.
The sad part
Um,
is his Kick-Ass role in Kick-Ass 2 would actually be perfect to go against Blankman in that
Yeah.
comedy.
And he
But,
won't-
but that's what I'm saying. Like
He
it
won't
kinda-
do that anymore either. He won't
Yeah.
do like a gun-toting type of role. So you have to give him someone who doesn't use guns or something. You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh
kinda
my
tough
God.
if he's Minnelli's son.
Yeah.
Shaved head, beard, peace man.
Peace,
Man.
man. There you go.
Jim Carrey could actually take Mike Myers' Love Guru, but give it to Jim
But
Carrey
good.
who could make it better. Yeah, like some peace man who actually
Yes.
has this idea that I need to create chaos in order to have the peace in the world. I need to
And they
create
get
the
to
evil to
fight.
have the good.
And they're
That was kind of
the-
like Peacemaker.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
name is a
kinda,
little
yeah,
too.
kinda-
I think it's a little too.
Yeah, well,
confusing,
whatever.
you
But
know.
A
call him
play
like
on the
Death Man
Peacemaker
or something,
formula.
But like I just watched that stupid new James Bond movie. And it's that you have these Bond villains who are always like, well, if I do so much, if I kill everybody in the world, it'll actually make everybody, death. I don't know. It would work.
I am
think.
death.
So there are some pitches in the chat actually, and some poking fun of my Blank Knight Rises and
As long as they get
different
to
things.
fight the Master of Disguise. That's all I ask for.
So there are some good pitches in
True.
the some good pitches in the chat though, and again some Last Boy Scout love, and some Rip Tony Scott. Of course, we love Tony Scott. But from Kyle, we get pitch Blankman Beyond. Blankman is too old and finds a new person to take the mantle with all kinds of freaky new technology. That's not, a bad starting point for sure. Some references to
Beyond.
a Blankman universe in there. It says Alex Bonifay says, Ian, Netflix totally just greenlit your original idea. Well done. Gold's Code says, man, I was at the wrong fandom video, rebooting the Wayans brothers. Alex
he's
Bonifante
just listening.
concurs. He concurs that we need a full awkward superhero universe. He says, see vague pitch above. Did I miss your pitch, Alex?
I love this Tom Servo, by the way.
Look at
Okay, so yeah, okay, I see his pitch above. And again, Devin Zane in there. Thanks, boy, for tuning in, buddy. Good to see you. Alex Bonfante says, well, I don't like the movie at all. I like the idea of a disproportionate superhero universe. Blankman, Jack Black is Fat Man, Kyle Gass is Gas Man, Kenan Thompson is Captain Cocoa Butter. I don't the Cocoa Butter reference went over my head, but the rest of that sounds pretty good to me. And there's also some requests for Uncle Sal's Pizza and Amy Schumer to be in there. Amy Schumer could be an interesting role.
But I don't want to. I don't want to turn it into a mystery man.
Yes. Yeah, that's a difficult thing to avoid. I think because the comedy sensibility of Mystery Men was so like Ben Stiller. I think it seemed to like lean in that direction, and I love Mystery Men, but I think this would never be that. This is not a Ben Stiller type of thing. It's not Will Ferrell type of thing. That is J9 right there. But I don't know. I think, again, with all these, it's a tough one to put together, but I think at the end of the day, there is more than enough here to create a good Blankman 2, and maybe more Blankmans after that even. I would love to see the Blankverse go on, and we didn't say necessarily multiverse like we always do, but there's no reason you couldn't do that further on down the line. And I think we need Blankman now more than ever, so what the heck, right?
Totally do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
So, anyway, before we wrap it up, guys, is there anything you have coming up in the works you want to let the people at home know about? Anything you could tease on the Jacked Up Review show, or anything coming soon?
Yes, we have covered all kinds of franchise reviews, and you're welcome for any of those takedowns. We have an April Fool's special that is Ted Lasso being reviewed that day, so check out that. But yeah, we're mainly doing a lot of music history, so any of your favorite metal or electronic bands are probably going to get covered on there.
Awesome. Oh man, we'll definitely keep my eyes open for that. Mickey, Ian, anything coming up with you guys? Ian, any articles? Mickey, any shows?
Yeah, I just posted a review on Fandom Spotlite over a classic H.G. Lewis gore fest movie called Color Me Blood Red, where an artist,
Herschel Gordon.
Yes, where a artist needs to find the perfect shade of red and finds it in his veins.
Very,
check
very
that
Ian
out.
Klink. I can't wait to read that. Mickey, anything going on in your corner of the world?
Not as of yet. Like a couple weeks we'll be getting together, the band and I, to start to rehearse, and then like I said, June is the recording, so hopefully we can get that out.
Wow, that's awesome. Looking forward to that for sure. I usually don't have much to promote or plug. In this case, I guess I have to make an exception because very soon I will be at New Jersey Horror Con in Atlantic City, and for the first time ever, you'll be able to get your hands on some pop culture punk t-shirts.
Yes!
So I am very excited about that. I'm also going to be doing some panels with some really cool people. Christy Swanson, Butch Patrick, we got Night of the Comet reunion panel, Friday the 13th reunion panel, lots of cool stuff.
Wow.
So Vernon Wells, the great Vernon Wells from Commando, just going to be an amazing weekend. And
how were you able to assemble this?
Well, I've been working for New Jersey HorrorCon on the staff for a long time, since they started, and nepotism at its finest. I was lucky to get in at the ground floor, and now they let me do all these Q&A panels.
Please wear a shirt and tie. Like just don't.
Oh wow, Dad!
Don't wear that.
Dad, don't wear that. Well, I'm not. I'm not gonna wear that. I don't wear the Hawaiian shirts. I don't do shirt and tie. It's not me, but I do wear a nice blazer.
I gotta be free, man.
I wear a nice blazer and like a warm shirt underneath that. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm always cold. I'm too cold to wear these in a hotel or a casino floor.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's cold in there.
I hope
my bones.
I hope to see as many of you at New Jersey Horror Con. Again, weekend of April 9th to 10th. Lots of cool content there coming on the Fandom Spotlight channel as well. And again, I want to let everyone know that if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitch and you like the show, please take the trip with us over to YouTube, as starting next week, we will be a YouTube exclusive live stream. And That's right. Also, you Fandom fans might want to check out Monday's Walking Dead Reactor panel, hosted by the governor himself, Captain Kyle, at 9 p.m. And of course, we would love for you to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. because where we're going, we don't need roads. And we'll be joined by the author of We Don't Need Roads, Mr. Cassine Gaines, for our Back to the Future episode. It will be the 50th episode of the show, and we really hope you can all tune in.
50. Wow.
Number 50 next week, folks. That's right. They haven't canceled us yet. That's right. That reference still goes over my head, but any rate, if there's a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode, let us know in the comment section on YouTube. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow the Jacked Up Review Show, Fandom Spotlight, the Hollow 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Motherfucker.